peeps. Welcome back to the podcast. I've had a great weekend. Yesterday, Saturday, Steve and I did our Scenic Saturday. And I don't know if we've actually talked about that. So I might save that podcast for when he and I are together next week. But we had a beautiful day together from like 10 till 6, just doing us on our Scenic Saturday. Pretty sure I have talked about it before, maybe with him or without him. Anyway, and yeah, I've just had a family downtime weekend. I've been experiencing some real changes, notable changes in my body and in my energy levels, and all the tools that would usually hold me, all the tools that would usually bring me back to center, just haven't quite been cutting it. And it's interesting because quite a few people who I've spoken to, a few of them being my clients, have been feeling the same. And there's been a common thread in myself and them, all sort of in this transition between how things were previously done, old ways of thinking, doing, and being, like they're ready to be evolved. And the new ways of thinking, doing, and being are still very much in their early stages. So yeah, it's this sort of in-between phase. I'm also going to get some physical things actually checked, blood tests, thyroid, hormones, etc. Being vegan, I know I haven't eaten meat for some time, so I don't know if I'm actually also low in iron. So I know that there's a physical component that I want to take care of, but also an appreciation for what takes place when we evolve. So that's just a little personal update from me. But what I want to share with you today is, I guess, when you are in these times, when you are in these transition stages or phases, when you are shifting between an old paradigm and moving into a new paradigm of you. And as a result, you're shifting out of an old paradigm of the way you think, the way you do, the way you be, the way you communicate, the way you live your life, go about your life. And then you're moving into a new paradigm of thinking, doing, being, of communicating, of navigating thoughts, of how you take care of yourself, how you speak to yourself, the way you go about your world. And I'm sharing this because these are tools that I use on myself, and these are tools that I share when people coach with me. And so I want to give you this tool, and it's a tool that I've been in the practice of, and it's simply because, like I said, I'm doing my qigong, my gym workouts, my walking, eating well, sleeping. And in terms of that evolution piece, like I said, I'm going to take care of my physical health piece in a few days. But if I'm just talking at the moment now to the evolution piece, there's all my usual things just aren't cutting it. So I've been saying this daily prayer, and it's a prayer that I typically say when I'm out on my walk and I'm down on the beach and the dogs are playing and Steve's up on the concrete walking because he doesn't like to walk on sand because he's got stuff going on with his feet. But I'll be walking and I'll say good morning to life. Steve and I do this practice, which we've talked about, where we say good morning to the earth gods, the water gods, the air gods, the sun gods, and then we acknowledge the planets, the universe, the plants, all these species. And so I do that little practice in the morning when I'm on my walk, and I have, instead of, meditating and journaling, because it's like I have no energy to even journal anything out. I put my pen to paper. I'm like, fuck, I don't even know what I want to write. I don't even know what I want to say. I don't even have the energy to like put a pen on the paper, you know? It's one of those phases. So now I just say to the universe, go easy on me. Go gently as I transition through this time. Please guide me. And I will repeat that a few times. Go easy on me. Go easy on me. Go gently. Please go gently. As I transition through this time, please guide me. And it's my way of kind of saying like, all right, I know I've got my tools, and my tools are, I will continue to do them because they keep me still in check and grounded. But I'm also acknowledging that this is a big shift, and it's yes saying it to the universe, but it's also saying it to myself. It's like, Kat, please go easy. Please go easy on yourself. Please go gently. If you're tired, sleep. If you need rest, rest. If you've got energy, cool. Use the energy. Please go easy on yourself, because you're transitioning, girlfriend. You're transitioning. And we ask for guidance. You know, so yeah, I'm saying that to the forces that be, the forces at be. And I'm also saying it to myself. And that's a nice practice to add into your, what I call, Mary Poppins toolkit. Mary Poppins bag, where you can reach in. And like I said, I've been reaching into Qigong, been reaching into journaling, been reaching into this, been reaching into that. And same, my clients have been talking about this with my clients. And it's like, I feel like I just need to say a little prayer. And this tool can be of service to you. Now, the tool may sound basic. It may sound like, Kat, what's this going to do? You know? And believe me, when we get to this place where we don't have to toxic positivity and rah-rah our way through evolution, where we don't have to say positive affirmations all the time to make ourselves feel better and get ourselves more vibrant in our energy, you know, when we don't have to fake in our head like, oh, I'm loving this transition, I'm really enjoying this transition is doing and working its wonderful things for me. And like, yeah, sure, it is. But when we can be real, you know, when we can be real on this journey and honor each phase of the journey. Sometimes during the journey of evolution, it's so exciting, exhilarating. You meet people, synchronicities take place, opportunities come in, and you're like, fuck yeah, this is why I do it, you know, to reap all the wonderfulness. And then there are times where it's so fucking silent. It's so quiet in your life, but yet it's so noisy in your head that you can't even hear what you're saying to yourself inside of yourself. But you're saying so much, it's just this noise, you know. During those times when we toxic positivity, when we rah-rah our way through things, we irritate ourselves even more. And we don't learn how to hold ourselves in real discomfort. You know, we forego rest because we're like, no, let's be energetic and let's be vibrant and let's be grateful that we're transitioning. It's like, fuck up, you know, please don't do that. And please don't work with anyone that sells that, because there is a deep honoring of all the phases of evolution when you're shifting from an old paradigm of you to a new paradigm of you, when you are deepening your relationship with your authentic self, where you are reclaiming parts of you that are you, and then as a result of that, that one starts to fall away. That's big stuff, for real. That's big stuff, because what you had previously identified with is no longer part of what you identify with. And so everything that you thought was right and real before is like, holy shit, the way I did that, the way I saw that, the way I communicated, my gosh, there can be a grieving process in that of the way that you did treat other people, the way that you treated yourself, the way that you went about your life in such a limited way. There can be grief of like the grief of the time that you've lost. Why is that turned on? Way that you went about your life in such a limited way, there can be grief of like the grief of the time that you've lost. The love that you locked out from other people or even towards yourself. And so toxic positivity and positive affirmation, mate, that ain't going to do jack shit other than probably create anxiety, because you know you're going to have this feeling of how you're feeling underneath. But then you're like, oh, why aren't I feeling better? Why aren't I feeling better? I've got to do more positive affirmations, more positive affirmations. There's a place and time for everything. And that's why I say, in this period of my time in my life, and many people that are around me and my clients as well, there's this period of like nothing seems to be working like I'd like it to work. So what do I do? You know, and most of the times we go back to the bare basics. The basics. We rest. We take really good care of ourselves, like extra level care of ourselves. We eat good food, go to bed early, take lovely baths, say a little prayer to the forces that be. Please go easy on me. Go gently as I transition. Guide me. You know, bare basics. You be surrounded by people who you love and who you trust and who are safe spaces during such times. And whatever is overstimulating, whatever is, you know, just too loud, too much, you let that go for a period of time. You take great care and you go back to basics. And part of knowing this work, part of this doing this work, is knowing which tool to pull out through your transitions of life. It could be transition of single to relationship. You're going to need some tools. Transition from relationship to being single again. You're going to need some fucking tools. Transition from not having children to having children. You're going to need some tools. You know, transition from leaving your work to starting your own business. You're going to need some tools, because all of the stuff that I've just mentioned is going to bring up your shadow stuff that you're like, that hasn't been touched for a little time, for a little while. Why is this so damn uncomfortable? Yeah. This work is collecting the tools along the way. I've shared about this before. And then knowing which tools are right for moments of transition, periods of transition. So today's offering to you, the one tool that I'll share out of the many in my toolkit, is a little prayer. Maybe you need it right now. Go easy on me. Go gently. And as I transition, please guide me.